Hello, dear Scorpio. If you found your way here, it's not by chance. I want to share something with you that came through last night, something I wasn't prepared for, something that moved me deeply. My name is Selena, and for years I've walked this path of listening, not just to cards or signs, but to the quiet voice of the divine that whispers when everything else goes still. And last night, something shifted. A message came through for you. Scorpio, not a prediction, not a guess, but a knowing. It was as if a page turned in the book of your life, and suddenly I could read what was written there, and what I saw, it might shake you. This isn't about fate in the way we usually speak of it, not a string of random events or vague coincidences. What I saw felt sacred, as if something higher than us was holding your story in their hands, not to control it, but to reveal it, piece by piece, when you are ready. And now, you are. What's unfolding for you isn't just another chapter. It's a revelation, a truth you may have sensed in fragments through your pain, through your silence, through the way certain relationships seem to fall apart right before you realize they were never meant to stay. The cards I pulled didn't just speak. They insisted, and they said this: your life was never random. Your path, Scorpio, has always been guided, even through betrayal, even through isolation, even when you begged for answers and received nothing but more silence. There is a divine hand in your story. And I know that's a big thing to say, but the messages are clear. You are not just being shown the truth, you are being called to remember what your soul already knows. This isn't about learning something new. It's about reclaiming something ancient, something you've carried across lifetimes. Scorpio, the pain you felt, the tension you've held in your chest, the grief you've carried that never seemed to find words, it all makes sense now. And not in some pretty packaged way. It makes sense in the rawest, most personal way. You were never broken. You were becoming. Every detour, every shut door, every collapse, that was the clearing, that was the divine making space for what comes next. So if you've been feeling like something's coming, if your dreams have been intense, if your body's been restless, if people from the past have resurfaced, or you've noticed numbers repeating again and again, you're not imagining it. You're waking up, and it's time to turn the page. I'll walk you through what I saw in your cards, but I want you to remember this. First, what you're stepping into isn't just clarity, it's liberation. This isn't just about knowing where you're going. It's about knowing who you've always been. And Scorpio, once you see that there's no going back, are you ready? And now we step into the first truth that came forward, the one you may have spent years trying not to see. Scorpio, I know how fiercely loyal your heart is, how deep your bonds run, and how long you're willing to endure pain if it means protecting someone you once believed in. But this message didn't come gently. The cards were clear, almost painfully so. There is a woman in your past, or perhaps still in your present, who held power over you, not just in title or position, but in the way she shaped how you saw yourself. And what's even harder to accept, it was never really love. It was control, masked as care. She may have been someone you trusted instinctively, a mother figure, a mentor, someone you once looked up to, and to the outside world, she likely appeared generous, protective, even admirable. But the truth is, her version of protection was a cage. She didn't want you to grow beyond her reach. She needed you to doubt yourself just enough to stay small, just enough to keep seeking her approval. She built her strength from your dependence. And every time you question your own power, she quietly approved. Because your light, your independence, was the one thing she couldn't dominate. This woman made you feel safe and powerless at the same time. She taught you to fear the world outside her influence. She convinced you that you needed her to survive, And Scorpio, that belief has lived inside you longer than you realize. You may have left her physically. You may have broken ties. But the echo of her voice still lingers when you hesitate, when you shrink, when you second-guess your worth. That voice is not yours. And it never was. The card showed this moment, the breaking point, the Ten of Swords, pierced and motionless under a rising sun. It's painful. It's final. But it's also the first breath of freedom, because what's ending isn't you, it's her influence. That version of you, the one who had to play small to feel loved, is dying. And in its place, a different you is rising. One who no longer needs to be chosen, protected, or explained. One who knows love does not come with a chain. In the weeks ahead, something will happen to shake this dynamic loose completely. It may be a blunt conversation, a sudden event, or simply a moment of such clear inner knowing that you no longer feel the need to ask for her permission, spoken or unspoken. Whatever form it takes, it will be undeniable, and it will be irreversible. This isn't about blame. It's about release. Because if you keep carrying the weight of her expectations, you'll never feel the full weight of your own truth. And your truth, Scorpio, is immense. It was never meant to fit inside the frame someone else gave you. So if you're feeling the sting of betrayal resurfacing, if you're waking up with old memories aching in your chest, this is not regression. This is resurrection. Let the pain rise. Let it speak. And then let it go. You do not owe her your silence anymore. And now, Scorpio, as the veil lifts and her hold begins to dissolve, something remarkable begins to unfold in its place. A moment of vast, almost dizzying possibility. It's like standing at the edge of a cliff, watching the horizon break open with 1,000 paths stretching before you. After so many years of emotional survival, of defending yourself, of deciphering what was real and what was manipulation, you are finally here, not to choose from what others offer, but to feel what your soul is being pulled toward. The card spoke of 7 paths, 7, each one tempting in its own way, each one a door that seems to promise healing, recognition, success, or love. You may already feel them circling a new job offer that feels like a fresh start, the whisper of a creative project that stirs something ancient inside you, a potential move to a new place where no one knows your past, or perhaps a sudden reunion with someone you once thought was lost for good. These aren't random. They're appearing because your energy is shifting and the universe is responding. But here is the part that matters most. Only one of these paths is truly meant for you. And no, that's not to say the others are wrong or dangerous. But only one carries the full current of your destiny. The rest may feel good for a while, may look perfect on paper, may even soothe your wounds temporarily, but they won't anchor you. They won't transform you from the inside out. Only one of these roads will feel like it's breathing with you, moving with you. And that's how you'll know. The card that revealed this to me was the Ace of Pentacles, the divine hand emerging from the clouds, offering not just opportunity, but alignment. The real path will come quietly. It won't demand your attention through noise or pressure. It will simply appear, maybe through a dream, or a coincidence too precise to ignore, maybe through someone who returns into your life unexpectedly, maybe in the silence of a moment when you're alone and finally hear your own voice clearly for the first time in years. Scorpio, your mind will try to weigh each option. Your fear may want to cling to the path that feels safest, but your body, your intuition already knows which one is meant for you. It's the one that feels like home, even if you've never been there. The one that doesn't require you to prove yourself or earn your worth. The one that expands you instead of containing you. So if you're standing at this crossroads right now, feeling overwhelmed or uncertain, breathe. The real path doesn't need to be chased. It will find you when you become still enough to receive it. You don't have to make the perfect decision. You only have to be honest with yourself. You've spent so long choosing what others wanted for you. This time, choose what your soul remembers. Choose the door that doesn't ask you to shrink or explain. The one that feels like you've already walked it in another life, and this time, you're ready to complete it. And just when you begin to trust the silence, just when the light of your true path starts to flicker in the distance, the past, as it often does, circles back for one final test. Scorpio, I need you to hear this part clearly, because it didn't come to me with softness. It came like a sharp whisper behind the ear, the kind that makes your skin tense before your mind catches up. There is someone still around you, someone who never left the arena, not truly, a person who once chipped away at your confidence, not with open violence, but with careful precision, a smile too sweet, a question too personal, a compliment laced with subtle comparison. They disguised their harm as concern. They wore friendship like perfume, but it was only ever a mask. This person, whether they are a coworker, an old friend, a relative, or even someone you've recently let back into your life, is still watching. They don't operate like enemies in stories do. They don't yell. They observe. They question. They plant doubt. And what's most dangerous about them is how familiar they feel. They've already done the damage once. They know where the cracks are. The cards revealed this figure as the Page of Swords reversed, someone who listens more than they speak. Someone who gathers your truths and then uses them as weapons when the time is right. Paired with the Five of Cups, the message was unmistakable. Your losses weren't always fate. Some were engineered as whatif.com. And now, as you stand on the edge of renewal, that same energy wants in again. But Scorpio, you are not who you were. You no longer need to second-guess your intuition or give someone endless chances just because they once had access to your heart. You know better now. Your body tightens for a reason when they message out of nowhere. You feel that cold flicker in your chest for a reason when they praise you too much, too soon. Trust that this isn't a call for fear, it's a call for clarity. You are stepping into a season of alignment, and everything that no longer matches your vibration will either rise or be revealed. And this person, they are being revealed. So what do? You don't confront them with rage. You don't need to accuse or explain. You simply observe. You pull your energy back. You stop giving them insight into your plans, your dreams, your progress. You let them wonder. You let their access expire quietly. Because Scorpio, not every enemy is worth a battle. Some are defeated by silence, by distance, by no longer feeding what once fed off you. You don't need to announce your power anymore. You are living it. And from this place, calm, steady, awake, you'll see every shadow before it gets too close. And this time, you'll choose you. And now, Scorpio, we arrive at the part of the message that gave me chills, not from fear, but from recognition. Because deep down, I believe a part of you has always known this truth, hidden beneath the survival, the silence, the protective armor you've worn for years. There has always been a pulse steady, ancient, waiting, a sense that your life was never just about healing from pain, but about guiding others through it. Your cards didn't just show a future of success, they revealed a calling, not a job title, not a role you're supposed to perform for approval, but a soul assignment, something bigger than you, something that can't be measured in followers, money, or praise. But that will move those who are meant to cross your path. The priestess appeared beside the Three of Wands, and together they painted a picture too clear to ignore. You are here to share wisdom. Whether through your voice, your writing, your energy, or simply your presence, you hold a kind of truth that the world is aching for. A healing truth. Not the kind you shout, but the kind that radiates through quiet, steady light. You've been through the fire not to burn, but to become a lighthouse. And now, that light is calling to be used. For some of you, this may look like writing the book you've been thinking about for years, the one that doesn't just tell your story, but unlocks something sacred in the reader. For others, it may be the creation of a course, a podcast, or a healing space where people can return to themselves through your presence. Maybe you'll open a center, launch a retreat, study a healing modality, or simply begin to speak from a deeper place. Whatever the form, as the essence is the same, your path is about remembrance, yours and theirs. But Scorpio, here is the truth. The world rarely tells you this isn't a fast path. This isn't about instant success or viral moments. The Knight of Pentacles showed up to remind you that your power lies in devotion, not speed. The world may move in algorithms and trends, but your soul does not. What you are building is legacy. And that takes time. It takes commitment. It takes the kind of quiet labor that no one sees until suddenly, one day, everyone does. The cards showed a timeline of 6 to 9 months, not of waiting, but of becoming. You'll be planting seeds you don't even realize will bloom. You'll be building something so aligned with your truth that by the time recognition arrives, maybe internationally, maybe publicly, it won't feel like fame. It will feel like returning, like you're finally where you were always meant to be. So start now, not with a grand launch or an announcement, but with intention. With a single journal entry, a quiet offer, a moment of trust, because when you move from your center, even the smallest step becomes sacred. Your mission isn't out there somewhere waiting to be discovered. It's been inside you all along, waiting for permission. Give it today, and then show up for it again tomorrow, and again, until the world rises to meet you, because it will. And now, Scorpio, if these words stirred something in you, if a part of you felt seen, called, maybe even a little nervous, then the path is already opening. The next step isn't complicated, but it is powerful, because this journey isn't just about listening. It's about responding, about telling the universe, I heard you. I'm ready. So I want you to do something simple, yet sacred. Go to the comments and write it. Don't overthink it. Just let your soul speak. Maybe it's I'm ready. Maybe it's I see my path now. Maybe it's I choose myself. Whatever feels true in this moment, that act of naming, of declaring your readiness, isn't for me, it's for you. It signals to your subconscious, to your spirit team, and to the universe that you are no longer waiting for a sign. You are the sign. And if this message reached you at the exact time you needed it, if your body felt a shift, a softness, or a silent yes rising inside, then press like, not just as a gesture, but as an energetic seal, a way of saying, I receive, because energy responds to intention. Every time you choose to align with your truth, even in small, symbolic ways, you begin to rewire your reality. And Scorpio, if your path feels uncertain, if the messages come in pieces, if you want to stay connected to the signals being sent your way, then make sure you're subscribed. This space is here for you, not just as a source of prediction, but as a mirror, a reminder, a light in the fog. Because this is more than a reading, this is a reckoning. A réunion, a rebirth. You are not late. You are not lost. You're just beginning. Say yes. Say it out loud. Say it in the comments. Say it in your heart. Then watch how the world begins to shift in response to your quiet courage. So, Scorpio, if you've made it this far, it means you were meant to. You didn't stumble into this message. You were led here by dreams, by signs, by the quiet ache in your spirit that told you something's coming. And now, this isn't the end of a chapter. It's the moment before the flame catches, The breath before the first word of a new book. You are not who you used to be. You don't belong in the past they wrote for you. You were never meant to stay small, silent, or hidden behind someone else's shadow. You were built for depth, for vision, for sacred transformation. So trust what's stirring inside you. Trust the clarity. Even if it feels fragile, trust the release. Even if it's painful, trust the way your soul is pointing because it's pointing toward freedom. And above all, trust that you're not alone. The universe is not testing you. It's initiating you. Every detour, every heartbreak, every false start, it was all preparing you for this. You're not here to repeat old cycles. You're here to rise. The path is open. The light is steady. Now take your first step and don't look back.